Hello everybody, this is the first Simple Stokes tutorial and I will be showing the sketch tool today. What makes these tutorials a bit different is I'll be teaching things that you're going to use more in FRC. So the first thing we're going to do today is we're going to hit this new prompt will come up. You're going to select sketch, and I like to name things so that they'll be easy to find. So today I'm going to name this 2 inches underscore 1 inch underscore 1 underscore 8. Now the 1/8 is 1/8 thickness. Helps me remember that. I'll use this sketch. Okay. Alright, so just a blank screen right now, but you'll see up here you have been prompted with several different tools that you can use. Right now we're going to start with inputting center lines. Center lines create a 2-point geometry center line is what it says. You're going to click, and you'll see as soon as I click, a center line will project all the way up around the screen, and I can move it around. I can place it horizontal, vertical. I'm going to put this one vertical. I'm going to put another one in that is perpendicular to that one. So now we have a nice center line with like an X and Y axis we can sketch on here. We can zoom in and out depending on what we want to do. So the first thing we're going to do is put in a circle. You can see when you select the center, the circle goes in and out. You can choose the diameter by clicking, select, and let's say I want a 1.125. This is all in inches. This is a standard hole for like a bearing. If you're putting something in like that, is 1.125 inches. I can also make it, half an inch if I want like a shaft axle to go through it. But I don't want a circle in there right now. You can also do lines. There's a line tool where I can just do my own crazy shape. The line tool is really good for inputting trajectories and stuff and sweeps. We'll cover that probably later on. And you can see that when you select anything or draw anything, these numbers will pop up. These are dimensions. If you double click on them, you can edit them. It's always good to edit. And you'll see the color has changed. So now instead of a light blue, it's a dark blue. So if you notice, I can still change this dimension, even though I had personally changed it. So if you want to keep that from happening, you can click on the dimension, hold the right key, and hit lock. And now you can see it's red. So when I go to drag this, nothing moves. The only thing that moves is the center line. So that dimension is always there. But however, I can still move this up and down since I have not locked any of these. So we can hit delete segment to just kind of draw, and wherever you pass on this will be deleted. So now I'm got back to my clean slate. Okay. The rectangle tool. There's different options when you click the drop down. You can pick corner rectangle, slanted rectangle, center rectangle, or parallelogram. My personal favorite I like to use is the center rectangle. So it works very similar to, let me zoom out here, very similar to the circle tool, where I select the center and then I drag out and the rectangle projects. So I'm going to hit select, and once again the numbers pop up. Since I named this the 2 inches by 1 inches with 1/8 thickness, I'm going to make this rectangle 1 inch by 2 inches. And be sure to lock all your dimensions. So now this is just a simple sketch that I can use later on when I want to extrude something or something like that. But when you're in FRC, what we mostly use is aluminum tubing, which means that there is a cutout in the middle. So I'll need to insert another rectangle, like so. Now you can see it has its own set of lines. So there's 2 things you can do here. You can do math to figure out how big this rectangle needs to be with a 1/8 thickness between these 2 lines. Or you can do, my personal favorite, is this normal tool up here. Now what it's going to ask you to do is it's going to want you to click, you can select this line and this line. Now basically it's saying I want the dimension from this line here and this line, what is that space, and I'm going to want to be able to edit that. So I have them both selected. You can click your middle mouse wheel and see that the new dimension pops up over here. Notice that it's blue, so it's not locked yet. So I'm going to hit 1/8. Now Creo does all the math for you, so you don't need to get a calculator out and be doing all that. Just input the formula, hit enter, and the math's already done. So notice that I'm still in the normal tool, so this is 1/8 thickness, but this still needs to be the same distance as that. So I can click, and then mouse wheel right here, same dimension pops up, 1/8, perfect, select. Alright, now notice these dimensions are still not locked, so I'm going to choose to lock this dimension. Now what I can also do is I can click this dimension, hold the control key, and then click the dimension that I just made over here, and then right click, and notice this equal option will appear. I can hit equal, and it automatically makes the dimension distance from here to here and the dimension from here to here the same. So now we have that all good. We have a nice shape here. Everything's locked, everything's red, all nice and pretty. So now we're going to go and save the sketch. Okay. Alright, now we have our sketch. It's already saved. We can now input this sketch into different functions with Creo when we're making actual parts, so that way we don't have to spend the time drawing the sketches. We can just input this sketch and then change the lengths of the extrusions that we need. Alright, well this is I think it for the tutorial number 1. Just a couple of little simple tools to get you started. I do recommend that you would open Sketcher and just play around with all these other functions. What I showed you today is probably what you're going to use most in FRC, but there are different functions that could be beneficial, such as the arc tool, and the spline could be also potential, and fillet and chamfers can save you time in the Sketcher that you would have to do basically in the part mode anyway, and we will cover those when we get to the extrusions. So, thank you for listening, and hope you learned some stuff.